Hi, everyone. How are you today? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to You Still Matter, a show about seniors and those who love them. Again, we are back, and I have the wonderful Glenda Horton Manning joining today. Glenda, how are you?
Well, I am wonderful. As I said to you earlier, it's beautiful here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Wonderful weather. The sun is shining and the people are moving about, doing some wonderful things. We hope and pray.
Yes, yes, it is beautiful here in Atlanta as well. And as always, it's so great to see you and just so exciting to just kind of continue our conversation from the last time that you joined us a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just going to, once again, I'm going to yield to you to let you just share again from your heart. Your information is always so wonderful, and we get such great feedback. So I'm going to let you go on and just get started and start by pouring your heart out with the subject that you would like to share.
Well, Donna, thank you so very much. It's an honor to have the opportunity to speak to you and to others out here across the nation. What's on my heart today is an experience that I had just a week ago. I had the unique opportunity of delivering a eulogy message for my lifelong friend, a friend that I met when I was 16 years old. And we became friends and held hands throughout our lifetime until she died just a few weeks ago. But
Mm.
I had the wonderful opportunity to speak there, to deliver that eulogy. Her family reached out to me and asked for that. And I have to tell you, one of the challenges that we as seniors deal with is as our friends and loved ones grow older, those people closest to them take control over their lives. And for some strange reason, and not a strange reason at all, I was really not able to interact with her toward the end as much as I would have liked to. But even so, I was able to share with those people left here the wonderful things about her. So as I prepared for that eulogy, I thought about the whole concept of friend. Friend. I thought about being a friend. What does that really mean? On the program, there for her service, I was listed as a lifelong friend.
Mm.
So, what does that really mean, particularly for those of us who are seniors? Being a friend means so much very special. And so as I prepared, I did look up the meaning of the concept of friend. Well, I went to my major sources. One was a dictionary,
Mm.
and I pulled out the definition of a friend from the dictionary. I also went to the internet, pulled information there. And for those of us who are Christians, we always go to see what the Bible has to say. So I did that as well. I gave those looks into the sources to find out what a friend really was. And in my research, I found that a friend is exemplified best by Jesus, believe it or not. So Jesus set a profound example of choosing and being a friend. Friendship is a universal language that transcends time, culture, and it weaves its way through the fabric of our human experience. Friend is really a noun, and it becomes a verb once you do it. Jesus had many friends. Most we know of as his disciples. And his disciples were his friends that he handpicked. They were his confidants, friends. They were partners in spreading his teachings, what he wanted them to do. Jesus loved and he sacrificed for his friends. Well, when I reflected on my friend, I thought seriously about what she had done for me. Because when you think of a friend, friends do things for you. We have friends for certain reasons. And she and I came together, one, because we had a lot in common. We had in common the fact that we both had families. She had sisters and no father. I had sisters and brothers and no mother. So we spent a lot of time talking about what that meant in a family growing up to have one parent who was responsible for everything. So we had that to share. But as time went by, we also shared growing up and getting married, having children. We had children. She had two children, two boys. I had a boy and a girl. We still had a lot to share together. As time went by, though, we both decided we wanted to do more with our lives. We wanted to be a little bit more than just mothers and wives. So she joined a program, a government program called OIC. I can't tell you what those letters meant, but it was all about a federal program designed to help women or men who wanted to improve their clerical skills to get a good paying job. That's just what happened to her. In fact, she got a real good job. She was making a lot of money and she was doing quite well. Well, on the other hand, I wanted to go back to college. I wanted my college degree. And so she helped me. Oh, we're talking about a friend now. Because when I got to college, there were a lot of things I just really wasn't prepared for. And one happened to be typing. I never learned to type. And she did. She typed well. She mastered the skill. And you know what? She did for me something I could not do for myself. She typed every single paper that I wrote. Even to today, I never really learned to type. That was just not my thing. Writing, absolutely. Speaking, even more, but not typing. So this friend did for me what I could not do for myself. Oh, there were nights we spent at my kitchen table. She was typing out that paper, or nights we spent at her kitchen table. Wherever we needed to be, she never complained. She was always there for me. That's what a friend is. And I thought so much about being a friend, a real friend, someone that I knew beyond the shadow of a doubt. And so I was able to do for her things that she could not do. And one thing that she couldn't do was to tell the people in her absence who she really was. And so that was a joy that I had. But when we talk about friends, as we grow older, we don't always have the opportunity to hold on to those friends that we had. For example, I can't hold on to her now because she's gone on to glory. But sometimes, and I feel I bring a lot of, I receive a lot of comfort just in remembering. But there are some seniors, and I want to speak to them today. There are some seniors that are lonesome. They don't really have these memories to marinate over, these memories to think a lot about that keep you warm. And the memory of my friend and others that I have, it keeps me warm. But I think about some ways that people make new friends, because we talked about that in another conversation. As we lose friends, the old ones, sometimes we need to replace them with new friends. There are those of us, seniors, who seek to replace their friends through technology. That concerns me today. There are many people who are reaching out through technology in a number of ways, through Facebook, through the internet, all kinds of ways that we have to reach out to other people. And sometimes we find people who say they are friends, and they really are not. They don't have the understanding of who we are. You see, friendship transcends time. It's all about knowing who that person is. Through the internet and through technology, we can all sometimes think we are making friends who we really don't know.
Mhm.
And there are ways that people reach out, particularly to our seniors, to use them as friends. What do they want? A number of things that they want. Some people have even met their mate. Some people have even met and married people that they met online, because there are dating sites that exist just for that purpose. And you know what, Donna? There
Yeah.
have been some dating sites that have recently come into being, or maybe it did and I didn't know it, for older people. It's about connecting people.
Mhm.
And on the internet cycle, we talk a lot, even by phone, by text. We hear people talking about friends that they talk with. In today's world, friendship is really all about friends on the phones, people who you talk with by internet, by text, people that you meet and you can stay in contact with them. And social media refers to them as friends.
Mhm.
There has to be no long time connection or even no physical connection at all, just through social media. They are called friends. I always had a problem with that concept, because if the meaning of friendship is about longevity, it's about cultural relationships, social relationships over time, knowing, even loving the other. If that happens to be the case, social media misses the point,
Mhm.
calling these people friends. And so there are many people who live to speak to someone that they don't even know, but they call them their friend. You can even defriend a person.
Mhm.
You know about that. Sometimes there are people that folk have been in contact with, and all of a sudden they decide, "Oh, I don't want to be your friend. And so I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to defriend you. I'm going to press that button that does not allow you to reach me possibly ever again." Sometimes we do it because we know what we're doing, and at other times maybe we don't. Now, I had that problem with my brother who lives in Hagerstown, Maryland, and we talk often. Somewhere along the way, he pressed the wrong button in a conversation that we had. And for some reason, for the longest time, his phone blocked my number. That's what people do to defriend them. It blocked my number, so I could not get a call through to him, not on that number. But the other day, I called him from another number, and it went through. That
Mhm.
was a mistake. But see, those of us as seniors, we sometimes press the wrong buttons. And so I did that by mistake. But that is a technique that we can use. And so I offer that to our senior listeners today. If there's somebody who's reaching out to you constantly, and that's happening over and over again. We're getting phone calls that we don't want. And we're getting phone calls that say they're coming from one place but another. People who want to reach out, they want to be your friend and they want to use you. Maybe they can make money off of you, or maybe they can become more of a part of your life. They may not even be who you think they are. And so it would be to our advantage to work on ways of blocking those people and leaving those people out, because they may be people we don't need in our lives, in our loneliness, in isolation. Sometimes we find ourselves reaching out to the wrong people,
Mhm.
and that we surely do not want to do. What has happened to me is I use the memory of my friend, this friend and others that I have lost. Because at my age, I've lost a lot of friends. And that's one thing that we truly deal with as we age. We lose as we had. And then, so we're left to try to make new friends, or at least as I do, just marinate and remember the good times with those old friends.
Mhm.
So, Donna, what is your thought? You're a tad younger. So, how do you navigate through this process of holding on to good friends?
Yes. And I'm so glad that you certainly mentioned about, the difference about real friends and those via technology. And I, um, I think it confuses a lot of people when they say, "Oh, I have 1,452 friends," and they're
Yes.
referring to technology, maybe on Facebook, and
Right.
only to know these people are not your friends.
No.
And I think a lot of times the word friend is used so loosely.
Yes.
Oh, that's my friend, and I've known them since January, and
Yes.
they friended me. And
Absolutely.
so, you have 1,400 friends. I only have 600 friends. And it's like, no, 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 no. And oftentimes, you know, seniors as well as younger people, they think that the more friends you have, quote unquote, via social media are really your friends. And
Yes.
so I'm so glad that you broke that down. No, and I know friends also, they can come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right?
Yes.
And I know what you've been talking about and sharing is those lifelong friends that you have. And generally, we draw who we are, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, meaning that, in order to have, real friends, then we also have to be a real friend, right?
Yes.
And as you mentioned, do things together, you have things in common
Yes.
and so on and so forth. So, but thank you so much for really sharing from your heart about friends. And I'm hoping that the main takeaway is to, make sure that we cherish the friends, the real friends that we have. And we don't have to have numerous friends to feel as
Yes.
though, that we have friends, right? I mean, if we have just a few friends, and those are people who, you share with, as you mentioned, people that you do things with, you don't have to necessarily talk to them every single day, but oftentimes, even if you've gone, 2 weeks or a month without speaking with them, once you all reconnect, it's as though no time, really, really lapsed. So thank you for that. And I want to share, Glenda. And again, guys, we're so glad to be back. We've been on a little hiatus. But listen, I want to share. It was so great hearing from everyone. I want to share with you some of the messages at Rose Jackson. Welcome back, Donna. Missed your wonderful podcast. As usual, Miss Glenda Manning's session was just excellent. She gave so much helpful information about seniors as caregivers. They are growing in numbers and need our support. Thank you, Ms. Manning, and God bless you. I am a caregiver at the age of 79. Wow.
Oh, wow.
And here's another comment at JBaby 1976. Good information. Thank you for that. At Kathy Montgomery, Donna, your wonderfully informative podcast was truly missed. Welcome back. As I look forward to hearing a variety of useful and interesting topics. And what an exciting way to return by inviting Glenda Horton Manning as guest speaker with her
Oh,
endless wealth of knowledge and experience concerning senior citizens and our challenges of being caregivers. And guys, thank you all so much. I'm going to share one more here at Jamie Nicole. Hello, Aunt Glenda and Donna. I so enjoyed this video. Extremely informative and encouraging. I will soon be taking on a role as caregiver for my brother, just wanting to be of more help and support to my mom, who is the sole caregiver of my brother. I also realize that I need to be more educated on his medical needs. And it also gives me the opportunity to spend more time with him. Love the work you're doing on this channel. God bless. Thank you all so much for these warm messages. And Glenda, what do you think about that? I mean, we have wonderful, wonderful viewers. And again, thank you all so much for sharing. Some of you share and you actually post your comments
yes.
on this show, and some of you share by email. But I am just so grateful to have you and call you a part of our You Still Matter family, knowing that you do still matter. So, Glenda, what are your quick thoughts? A little
Well,
response.
first of all, I certainly will say that I count you a friend, Donna,
Yeah.
because we have gone back a ways. We have
Absolutely.
we have shared special time in very special ways, and we've even come to the place where we meet over technology.
That's
We
right.
both, for years we've not even been able to meet other than here on technology, which is an awesome opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for those who wrote in, for those viewers who responded and who shared from their hearts
Yeah.
what they gathered from the message. From them, I gather new ideas as well because we grow. I have a sister who says to me all the time, iron sharpening iron, sharpens
That's right.
iron. So that simply means that what you know can strengthen me, and what someone else knows can strengthen them.
That's
So I'm
right.
growing tremendously just in sharing and hearing the comments that come from others who have viewed the video and who share in the same experiences. So thank you for
Absolutely.
the opportunity.
Yeah, and thank you all. And again, make sure you subscribe so that when our videos do, when they are posted, you'll be the first to know. And again, it is so great again to be back. And just make sure you subscribe so that you're the first to know, and you'll be able to look, and please share the videos. Keep your comments coming. We love those. It gives us, as Glenda said, it gives us the energy to continue. Even though we're working on, other projects, we still want to come back and be able to share and use this platform to, encourage and inspire and uplift. Okay, so listen, we're going to go ahead and land this for this episode. But I do want you to remember, no matter who you are, no matter your age, what you may be going through, always remember that you still matter. And I'm going to encourage you to, if you would, initiate an act of kindness this week. And if we're intentional, we can initiate kindness every day. Okay. So, again, thank you all for tuning in. Take care. We will see you soon. God bless. Bye for now.
Bye for now.